Yeah, man. I know some gold sack motherfuckers is like, yo, what up? You know what? You know how I like to do. I like to play some motherfucking music, nigga. I ain't playing no music today. What up, though? What up, there? Everybody jumping in this motherfucker. You already know what it is when you jump in this motherfucker. Make sure you wipe your motherfucking feet. You know, I like to listen to some motherfucking South African shit. You know, I'm big on that. So, you know what's up. What up? What up with you, though? Come on in this motherfucker, man. I'm about to drop some shit. I be talking all my shit, man. I'm about to play some South African shit. You know, I'll be on that. I'll be on that fucking non-music hard. Like, yeah. So what up, though? Bud only. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people bud only. I'm one of them niggas. I be on some other shit. What's the good? What up? I see niggas jumping in. What's up? I know I've been gone for a minute, man. Wipe y'all feet, niggas. 23 motherfuckers in here, man. Thumb it up. Stop being a hoe. Stop being a hoe. What's up, Universal? Appreciate you wiping your feet, my nigga. Finally able to catch a live. Real big ups. Salute you, Mars. What's good, my guy? Day 12 of No Fat, but started over. Hey, it's all good. Keep at it, Chad. Keep at it. Nigga finally call a line. That's what's up. What up, King Hockey? What up? What up? What's up, Lucid Swank? Wiping his feet. What up? Milo, 24/7 wiping his feet. That's what's up. What's up, though? I see a nigga jumping in. 29 motherfuckers, 17 people wipe their feet. 17 people wipe their feet. What up, though? Appreciate y'all. Yeah, what up, Zach Line? Knew you was going to say that air wipes. Wipes my feet. Hey, that's what's up. My dude, what's good? What up, Obs TV? What up? I had a bit of breakthrough with no fap. I'm happy you did, bro. So I'm actually happy, man, because I got some motherfucking mushrooms I'm about to have coming back to me, man. My homegirl hit me up. Got some mushrooms on the way soon. And I haven't had mushrooms in a couple months, man. And you know, when it's hard to come by, it's hard to come by. But when you're able to get your hands on some, man, it's dope to get your hands on some. And so I actually got a couple videos I'm gonna drop soon where I'm talking about mushrooms, giving y'all a little bit of info on that. Why you never take calls? I don't know what you mean. I don't know. I don't take calls. What you mean? I don't know what you mean. ZZ Roster. Psychedelics are good medicine. Yeah. So check this out. I feel like a lot of people need to really get on the wave. I feel like niggas need to really get on the wave and understand how powerful shrooms are and how good they are for us. Especially for people in this day and age where we're really all about going to the next level of knowing, you know? So dealing with mushrooms is going to be the thing that's going to awaken a lot of people and have what we would call a quickening process. You know what I mean? Rakal said, what are the benefits of these mushrooms and do you find your higher self through them? Hell yeah, hell yeah. I actually got some videos I'm going to drop talking about that. One of the things about these mushrooms, man, is that for those who never did them, and for the people who say shrooms seem kind of scary, like Damien just said, what I've learned is this. The beauty of mushrooms is that, first of all, we got 45 motherfuckers in here, 28 people motherfucking thumbed it up. Nigga, thumb this shit up, nigga. Thumb that motherfucking shit up, man. Stop coming in here being a hoe, man. Stop being a hoe. Thumb it up. What I will say is this, and this is why I love the age of Aquarius where we're moving in. What I love about the age of Aquarius that we're moving in and dealing with things and talking about things like psychedelics is this. You initiate yourself to walk that journey. Nobody pushes you to have to take no motherfucking mushrooms. It's kind of like this. If you're dealing with a girl, and if you know if you know you can eat pussy like a motherfucker, you cannot force the girl to want you to eat her pussy. You can't be like, look, you don't know what you missing, bitch. You don't know what you missing. If she had a pussy ate before, or if she didn't have a pussy ate before, she don't know what she's missing. She don't know. So you can't force her, bitch. I eat the fuck out that pussy, bitch. You don't know what you missing, bitch. Let me please you. It's kind of like that for somebody who never had mushrooms. They don't know what they're missing. They don't know how good it is. What's up, baby? They don't know what it is, right? So they don't know what they're missing. Now, when it comes to shrooms, You have to walk yourself through that door. Nobody can do it for you. So the beautiful thing about that is that if you never done mushrooms, you have to know that there's a door that you can walk through. And but what you got to know about it is this is where you got to look at shrooms. There's a door that you can walk through. Now, what I will tell you is that on the other side of that door is going to be shit you never seen before, shit you never dealt with before, shit you never dealt with before, you don't know nothing about. But what you will know is this, you won't forget it. Now, for some people, because they want to have so much control, or they think they have so much control over their lives to a degree, that they would not take a chance because they feel like they'll lose all control. Whereas the truth of the nature is when you go across there, you actually level up. You actually start to realize how much more you are in the middle of the matrix, and you got to be able to know your part and how you play a part in that. Appreciate you, baby. Baby said she liked the shirt. Yeah. So, you know, you got to think about, do you want to take that risk? It's either two things, man. You either take the red pill or the blue pill. And that's really how you got to look at mushrooms. Now, I talk a little bit about it where for some people, they're not ready. And they may never feel ready. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You have to know when you're ready. Anybody that do mushrooms around me or anybody that I have, I always put on game. I always watch them to see if they're ready. Because I don't want to give you something that you can't handle yet. And what that is based on is not just your behavior. It's the way you're thinking right now. It's the way you act. It's the way you think and how you're thinking. I look at that. I talk about it in the video I'm going to upload where I had an ex-girlfriend that never did mushrooms before, and she was begging me for a whole year. She wanted to do mushrooms. I was like, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. And she was like, why am I not ready? She was all hippie-ish. She's like, yeah, I'm ready. I love trees, blah, blah. I said, but you're not ready yet. She was like, how you know? Because I can tell by your mind. You're not ready to go through it dealing with me, because I know. I've been doing mushrooms for years. So I know if I think you're ready or not. And so a year go by, and I started to feel like, okay, she's ready. Once I did that, I opened up a fucking can of worms, because she was a monster after that. She did it the following week, the week after that, took a break for 2 weeks and wanted to do it again. Because she was mind blown at the fact that her whole reality was shattered from what she thought she knew. You know, and that's something that some people are comfortable dealing with, and some people ain't comfortable dealing with the fact that their reality is gonna be motherfucking gone. You know what I'm saying? Smoke weed and do shrooms. You know, I'm a wild nigga, dog. I used to take bomb hits, nigga. Back in my old trapping days, my wild days, nigga, I would grind up mushrooms, mix that shit in with some bud, nigga, and take bong hits of that shit. I would take bong hits of it. I would grind it up, put it in blunts. And just be having pupils dilated and fucking walls just caving in on the nigga every once in a while, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking goddamn ceiling fans turning into mosquitoes, looking like mosquitoes and shit, nigga. I done had it all done, nigga. Shit is lit. Oh, man. But you know the thing about mushrooms is this. I only talk about it because I want you to understand that Lalo said once you open your third eye, there ain't no going back. Yeah. So it's a situation where it's like once you wake up, you can't go back, you know, and that's the thing with consciousness, that you can't go back when you wake up. Now it's funny that you said, Tinsel, you spoken sun gazing yet? I'm doing a video on that right now. I actually got a video I'm gonna upload in a little bit, talking more about it. That's how it be, Chad. Yup. What is an example of a way I can evaluate myself before indulging in mushrooms? Now, I will say this. That's a great question. Now, I was about to do a video on ego death, and I was going to talk about that. And why I was going to talk about that would kind of give you a little glimpse into what you'll be dealing with. You have to be comfortable. You have to know certain things. You have to be comfortable with knowing that you got to treat this life, first of all, like it's an adventure. If you're not comfortable with your whole reality being shattered, or the way you thought being motherfucking changed, if you're comfortable with the way your life is, nothing wrong. And I'm not saying that from a mundane material aspect. Oh yeah, I love my job, I love my girl, I love my dogs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about with, are you one comfortable with the answers that you get from life in this mundane aspects? Are you comfortable with the bullshit the news is telling you? Are you comfortable with that the shit that you hear on the news is news? Do you feel like that's substance? Do you feel like when you wake up in the morning that you are able to feel like, I don't need anything, I don't have any questions, I don't want for nothing? If you feel comfortable in those areas, then you don't need mushrooms. You're comfortable. You're in a state of sedation where you don't feel the need to wake up. You don't feel the need to have to question reality. You don't feel like there's nothing you have to question. You feel like you're fine with the matrix the way it is. Now, let's say you do feel like you want to question reality and you question things that's going on around you. That's the first step. But the second step is this. You got to know this as a spiritual adventurer. You have to think like this. As a spiritual adventurer, you cannot flinch when the truth is thrown at you. Now, if you're not able to go on a certain type of path and you flinch whenever the truth is thrown at you, whether it's the reality that you don't want it to be or what it is, if you're not used to seeing the reality, or if you're not aware that there could be a potential another reality that's so totally different than this one, and if you feel like that shit will fuck your mind up, don't fuck with shrooms. Don't fuck with psychedelics. Now, if you are open to being a sponge because your brain has to expand, your consciousness is asking to expand, if you feel it in your soul that you can say, you know what? I don't give a fuck what I'm about to see. I don't know what I'm going to see, but I don't care no more. I'm willing to be open to that because there has to be more to what I think I know now. If you feel that in your soul, nigga, if you feel like that's something that you can deal with, then you will be able to go on that path because you have to treat this like a child. You have to be a child. This is what the ancient text always talks about. You have to be a child, which means you have to be forever learning. You have to be forever open to learning. So one of the things that's so fucked up about the society we live in is that it's easy for us to get encased into this reality and think that this is all there is, which when you do that, you set yourself up to become even more stagnant and ignorant. Now, when you're hungry and you're perpetually on a mission to find ways to better yourself, to think of higher ways of knowledge and learning, then now we can talk about how do you feel about being able to go to the next level. You have to be, like I said, you have to be comfortable with knowing that what you're about to see, nigga, you about to go down the rabbit hole, nigga. It's about to be Alice in Wonderland. Are you comfortable with that? Like I had a conversation with my ex when we talked when we was going through. She wanted to talk about doing mushrooms. I said, "Are you comfortable with knowing that you'll see things that you never thought you'll see? Like, are you comfortable with knowing that you'll go outside and you'll see fucking trees got eyes? You're comfortable knowing that trees got eyes. Are you comfortable that knowing that you can go out there and when you go outside, you can make the motherfucking clouds turn in different shapes? Are you comfortable with seeing faces in the clouds? Are you comfortable with this happening? Are you comfortable with that happening? Are you comfortable with being able to potentially tap into higher levels of psychic energy that you can know that something's about to happen? You can have premonitions. All types of shit that'll blow your fucking mind because nobody never told you. Are you comfortable with that? And if you say, yes, I'm comfortable with being able to go to another realm, then yeah, you can do it. Then yeah, you can do it. What up, Ness? I was just talking about this shit like it's so real because there's been times where I've done mushrooms and I've seen amazing, every single time I do, I see amazing things, have amazing things happening. You know, and it's are you willing to go to that level? Are you ready to see another reality? If you're not ready to see another reality, then don't do it. On top of that, I always told people when they ask me about shrooms, make sure you do it when you're fine with things going on in your life at that time. Make sure you're doing it when things are going decently in your life where, you know, you're not having too much. Because the thing about the stress, well, it can easily come up because it's your subconscious mind that can easily bring it back up during a shroom trip. Now you're having a bad trip, nigga. Now everything turning red and green and blue and you seeing colors. Because you will realize this. When you want motherfucking mushrooms, nigga, your emotional nature, like, you know when we used to see those mood rings, right? When you was little and you see those mood rings, guess what? Your vision changes colors like that too. When you are in a certain type of mood, your vision will turn red if you're really fiery up right now. If you're feeling like you're in a lower nature, like your mind will show you the colors of your chakras based on how you're feeling at the time. You will feel it. You will see it. It's so deep, dog. It's so deep. It'll show you what chakra you're operating at. If you're operating out of fight or flee, then guess what? You're gonna see it. It's gonna be fiery and red. It's very primal. You'll see it. I'm giving you straight game, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I see everybody coming in here. What's up? What's up? I heard Shrooms humble you. Is that true? Yeah, Zach, it's very true. Like I was gonna do a video, but I guess I'll talk about it now. One of the things when you hear people talk about ego death, the reason why you hear people talking about ego death or they bring up ego death, what they're talking about is the humility that you get through dealing with psychedelics. But the humility that you get, is based on you realizing that there's two things. There's the I and the not I. The not I is the ego that you operate with in your mundane life for the most part, that you will say, hey, hold up. You'll realize when you're doing mushrooms, there's two motherfuckers trying to control this shit. There's the higher version and then there's the lower mundane version. If you think about it like this. Think about if you ever watched Men in Black. If you ever watched Men in Black, right? The first one. You remember when they was in the mortuary and they was cutting up the dude, and then inside of the dude was that little fucking big-headed alien motherfucker looking high as hell. He was like, something is on Orion's belt, right? That's the pineal gland. That's the seat of God. That's what was right there, right? That is the central focal point of where you operate from on your higher level. Your higher self operates from a total another level. You're not even here. You're an avatar. Now, what's so important about that is because the ego death is based on you realizing that there's two motherfuckers trying to be fighting for supremacy of this vessel. The ego, which you return to usually when you're dealing with your shroom trip or whatever, and you go back. Once you come back down, you're getting back encased into what the ego is known to do. The ego is known to survive. The lower nature, let me go and do this. Oh, I got to do that. The ego is you saying, I got to do all this. The higher levels of you, or the I, is the one who deals with higher octaves of learning, speech, thinking, interacting, without getting the ego involved. What that means is, like, for example, you outside, right? And this happened plenty of times. And this is what happens when you are dealing with your higher level. If you outside, right, and somebody motherfucking step on your shoe, depending on what type of dude you are, what type of person you is, you can either be like, oh, man, it's all good. Or you might be like, yo, man, yo, watch yourself, nigga. If you are operating from a higher level, you would think for other people sometimes. You won't even think in terms of just yourself. You would think of others. Oh, it's all right, man. I know you probably ain't mean it, man. It's all right. And you move on. That's higher level thinking. The ego say, nah, nigga, you just bought them fucking J's. Nigga, that's $150. Nah, man. You just bought them J's. Nigga, just stuff your shit. The ego could be so low and mundane that would have you thinking like, yeah, the ego will be talking to you. The ego will be listen to what I'm saying. The ego will be talking to you, telling you, that nigga motherfucking stuck in your shoes, nigga, what you gonna do? The ego right here in your ear like, yo, that motherfucker stuck in your motherfucking shoes, nigga. Yeah, they $150, nigga, but you worked overtime last week for that shit, nigga. And you like, yo, I just really wanted to go. It's all right, he didn't mean it. The ego like, nah, man, fuck that shit. Tell that motherfucker, wipe the motherfucking shit off your feet, nigga. And you like, nah, I don't want to demean nobody. It's all right. The ego like, nah, nigga, you a man or you a pussy, nigga. You a man or you a pussy, nigga. And then you decide what you gonna do. Are you gonna be you? Are you gonna be I or the not I? So you got to understand that when you're dealing with high levels of psychedelics, you are tapping into knowing that your mind is the only thing that's real. When you have ego death, what you realize is this: damn, there's another motherfucker in here? Yeah. Operating from Sirius. Operating from another constellation. And you realize that, damn, I'm not just me. I'm not just the guy I thought. Because when you tap into the shit, if you read the Kabbalah, you understand that the whole universe is mental. So the only thing that's real is the mind. So there's layers and layers to the mind. You got the low vibrational mind that functions in everyday society. And then when you are on motherfucking mushrooms, you're in another world, encased in this world, encased in this body. So you're seeing things from a whole nother spectrum. You're thinking from a whole nother spectrum. And what you realize is this. This is the reason why shrooms is so important. And it's so dope. Because it shows you the power of your mind. This is why it's so funny when they call it tripping, right? I can make myself trip. If I'm on motherfucking mushrooms, I can say, yo, I'm going to turn them fucking clouds into some fucking unicorns. I'm going to turn them into some ponies. And I can make myself do that. I can make myself trip. Then I can say, you know what? All right, let's turn them in from ponies. Let's turn them into clowns. Let's turn them into submarine ships. Let's turn them into this. Let's turn them into airplanes. I did it. I did it, nigga. I told y'all before, I don't know if I told you, but nigga, that was one time we was tripping mushrooms, me and one of my homeboys, we was outside. That nigga was playing on the guitar, a little acoustic. I'm playing on the bongos, nigga, just chilling, catching the vibe, right? Fucking cloudy ass day. I had a motherfucking it was cause we had a hurricane in the power went out. So the power's out, he's outside, motherfucking he outside playing the acoustic guitar. I'm playing the motherfucking bongos, nigga, just out there chilling. We just vibing, nigga, ain't no power, nigga. Had a flashlight. So I started shining the flashlight at the fucking clouds. I'll turn it on and off. Pew! Every time I turn it on, I'll be shooting it at a cloud that was coincidentally a fucking airplane at the time, and I just made them airplanes. I hear the sounds of the airplanes and everything in my mind. Every time I turn the light on, the fucking clouds explode. So I'm like, oh, I just shot one down. So like, pew, pew, pew. Nigga, all this type of shit. Having a ball. Tripping myself out. Making myself trip consciously. So it shows you the power of the mind when you are able to say, damn, I can make myself do this. I can make myself do that. But the reason why is because you realize that this is your mind making yourself trip. You can consciously make yourself trip. And at the same time, you're subject to understanding the right brain now. When you understand the right brain, you understand that the right brain is feminine. So you understand that the right brain deals with symbols. The right brain deals with shapes. The right brain deals with colors. For any of you guys ever did shrooms, think about how shrooms happen in waves, right? When you take shrooms, you don't just, it don't hit you like DMT. For any of you guys ever did DMT, it don't just hit you right away. If you do shrooms, it takes a moment. You know, you feel that feeling in your stomach and all this type of shit, right? You realize when you start to trip shrooms, your peripherals start to do like this, right? Am I right? You start to feel those waves. You be like, hold up. Everything feels liquidy. Everything feels liquidy because you look at everything in life and you realize that it is a cycle. It does feel like waves. It's waves of consciousness, all those type of things. You know? So deep, man. So dope. Yeah, also the crowd you hang with saying that stuff. Bruh, some acid is 24 hours depending on yeah. See, I deal with acid once, but nah, I'm cool. Have you ever had sex on shrooms? I got a homeboy who did. I got a homeboy who had sex on mushrooms while we was both tripping. He was in the other room. And he told me about how it was just the weirdest thing. Like, he was like, yo, I couldn't even bust. He was like, her titties up here, it's going down, it's moving around, her fucking eyes is right here, all that type of shit. Just crazy shit. And I said, bro, I don't know how you can do that shit, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Does the ego bleed into self-respect? The ego is based off of you being able to understand two things. The ego has a certain type of job to do while it's here. The universe, on its primal level, deals with self-preservation. The first rule of the universe is self-preservation. So when you are encased into this dimension, the first thing that your mind or your lower nature is thinking about is self-preservation. And this is where the ego comes into play. The ego says this: as long as this skin suit is moving and alive, that's how long I stay alive. But the trick that the ego plays on the soul and the spirit is that The ego loves feeding into this dimension because this is what keeps it alive. Once you start to wake up, you realize that you're not even this motherfucking body, nigga. You're not even this body. So your ego has to fight for supremacy of who's going to tell him that he's not his body. Well, the ego doesn't want to tell him because the ego says, damn, then now the ego doesn't get what the ego wants all the time. That ensures this survival here. When you think outside of this realm, then you're not thinking for the best interest of this realm at all times. You see what I'm saying? So what you find yourself doing is you find yourself dealing with, how do I regulate being able to still have to live in this environment, but think otherworldly. Think outside of this world. For anybody who ever been locked up, it's kind of like being locked up. When you're in the prison or the jail, you got to go by jail rules. You can't think like you're on the street anymore. You can't think like you're in regular society because the rules and things that you work with on that level does not work here. It doesn't exist here. Once you're back out there, then you can think that way. And that's dealing with your body being in a certain place, having to think a certain way. So think of that as the same way dealing with being a human in this world. We're spiritual beings, but you have to think like a human being while you're here to a degree, but you have to know that you're a spiritual being. So this is why it's so important when you realize that when you do mushrooms, that ego death is based off of you realizing like, damn, I'm really not my motherfucking body. This is why the universe is all mental, because you realize that now. You realize that while you're in your body, you only think a certain type of way. But when you actually tap into dealing with psychedelics, which is so funny that DMT is coexist in the body, right? When you go to sleep at night, that's DMT. Ain't that weird? That you fucking get high to fucking leave here, because that's the only thing that exists. That's the only thing that exists. But when you're in that world, by the time you come back to your reality, or what you deem your reality here, you can't even remember what the fuck was going on in that world. Those dreams are so weird, and it goes from a dimension that time is an illusion to when you come back here, you're subject to the lowest level of vibration. So it goes like that. You leave one world and go to another world just like this. You're back in your body. Now you can't remember shit. 2 seconds went by. You like, yo, I was just flying on a dragon, and then there was this, and then 2 minutes later you forgot it all. And think about how short 2 minutes is in this realm. So imagine how long 2 minutes is in the other realm. This is what you understand. Even when you're on motherfucking mushrooms, you may trip from 4 to 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, depending on how much you take, right? But 4 to 6 hours seem like forever, nigga. You don't even, nigga, you can't even fathom time the way you see time in the regular construct, nigga. You can't even perceive it. Ain't that crazy? It's dope at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Salute everybody jumping in here. Why do you think we can't do that without mushrooms? I would say this. You get so encased in this physical realm. The dimension that we live in is called Maya. Maya is illusions. This is the lowest nature of the gross dimension. So everything here makes you think it's real because it's so stationary. You think the shit is permanent. So you get caught up in a so-called construct that makes you think everything is real, but it's not. So if you could start to think outside of just this reality that binds you here because you think you have to be here, that's the ego. I can talk about so many situations where when you astral project, right? The weirdest thing is when you are like, hold up. You think that your body is the anchor. So you think this is where you live though. But you realize that, no, I'm just anchored down. So when you realize that you're anchored down, now it starts to make sense. Like, oh, so I can really go do this? I can really go do that? Yes. But the ego's like, no, no, no. The longer you're going there, the longer that the ego knows that this time is limited here. Because they can't operate without you because you're the consciousness. The ego is just the prototype of defense mechanism for this body to ensure its longevity here. And it only works in tandem with the consciousness when it's in this dimension. Outside of this dimension, it doesn't hold weight. It's kind of like when you dream, right? For those who know how to lucid dream, the ego doesn't live there, and that's when you realize it. If you ever had a dream where you've been like, oh shit, I'm about to jump. I'm flying. You be like, hold up, why I'm flying? That's when your body wake up. If you ever had lucid dream long enough, you got to start thinking outside of the box to ensure your longevity on that side. The longer that you learn how to deal with lucid dreaming, right? Where when you're dreaming, you're doing all this so-called quote-unquote impossible shit that you can't do in this realm, but you're doing it over there. And if you are conscious of it and you learn to not get too excited, you can stay over there. But if you start to be like, hold up, I ain't really supposed to be... Like, I had a dream not too long ago. There was an alligator on my arm. Everywhere I go, the alligator just locked into my arm. It just doesn't hurt. He's just sitting there. He's just on my arm. But every time I try to go do something like that, I forgot what it was I was trying to do. But it'll just squeeze harder, right? But he didn't have teeth. So it's like an alligator with gums that's just on my arm, but he was squeezed harder. I'm like, yo, every time I try to do this, he squeezed harder. Why? And I'm just looking at him, he's blinking. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, nigga? So imagine if this was real world. You be like, yo, the real world of an alligator bit your fucking arm, nigga, it's crazy, right? But in the realm that anything that's possible, I fuck with DeVito. So when you listen to anything, so when you deal with the realm of impossibility, that's where it's at. The reason why it's hard for people to stay lucid dreaming is because it's hard for most people to realize that you have to put yourself through a rigorous test of thinking outside of the box and thinking what's weird anyway. That's the right brain. You have to think weird to deal with the real world. To think logical is to stay in this dimension where things is logical. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to go in and talk a little bit about it. The third dimension is what most of the masses are stuck in. Exactly. Drugs are like different realities. When you take them, there are different laws of feeling. Yeah. When you be hearing people's thoughts and time stops. Hell yeah, nigga. Sometimes, nigga, I had to realize, I'm like, hold up, my heart is beating. Why my heart? I was like, hold up. Couldn't even hear nothing, nigga. Shit is crazy. I only had a full-on lucid dream one time, but I realized I was dreaming before a good number of times. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. My best dreams are when I feel like I'm flying. Hell yeah. It's hard as hell to astral project. I tried so many times. Well, some tips for astral projecting. The thing about astral projecting, man, you have to... It's a series. It doesn't have... None of this shit happens overnight because you got to realize what type of dimension we're in. You first off have to stop thinking that you are just of this world. You have to restructure your whole brain to know that you're not of this world. You're just coexisting in this world. That's part of it off the top. You know what I'm saying? I stopped time before on Shrooms. It was, nigga, I did all that too, nigga. I made a star jump, nigga. I made a star jump over here to over here, nigga. I done did a lot of shit, nigga. But anyway, man, I ain't want to be long. I just want to give y'all some game real quick, man. I got to charge my phone up. I'm going to drop some videos soon, man. I know I ain't been on here. I'm going to try to tap in tomorrow. Somebody asked me what I thought about Spiritual Soul. I don't know him. He seems like a cool dude. I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna drop the sun gazing videos tonight because I know people been wanting it. So I'm gonna give y'all that right after this live. So it should be up in a little bit, man. And we'll talk some more. We'll do some more lives. So hopefully I'll see y'all this weekend. Peace.